Good morning. My name is Bobby Talibian, and I'm the Director of the Office of Information Policy here at the Department of Justice. I would like to welcome everyone today to the Department of Justice's 12th annual celebration of Sunshine Week. This year, we are once again gathered virtually, but are very thankful to be seeing people in person more and more as we adjust to the post-pandemic operations. We look forward to this event every year, as Sunshine Week is an opportunity for us to reflect on the importance of open government. Nearly 85 years ago, our country was 5 years post-Great Depression, and yet still recovering socially and economically from its impacts. During a fireside chat in April 1938, then President Franklin Roosevelt stated that the only sure bulwark of continuing liberty is a government strong enough to protect its interests, the interests of its people, and a people strong enough and well-informed enough to maintain its sovereign control over its government. Today, as we likewise recover socially, economically, and professionally from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Freedom of Information Act serves as a modern-day bulwark of continuing liberty by providing a means by which requesters may seek information and thus ensuring a well-informed public. As we celebrate Sunshine Week this year, the Department of Justice remains steadfast in its support of open government and our commitments to encouraging agency compliance with the FOIA. During the over 50 years of its existence, the FOIA has been amended several times. In 2007, one of the key provisions added to the FOIA was the requirement for each agency to designate a chief FOIA officer who is responsible for the agency's overall FOIA administration. It is my distinct honor today to introduce our keynote speaker, the government's highest-ranking chief FOIA officer, Associate Attorney General Vanita Gupta. The department has long recognized that a successful FOIA administration requires the active leadership of agency chief FOIA officers. Here at the department, we are very lucky to have the Associate Attorney General's support and leadership, both for our efforts here at DOJ and government-wide. Ms. Gupta was sworn in as Associate Attorney General of the United States on April 22nd, 2021. As Associate Attorney General, she oversees several of the department's litigation and policymaking components. Before her current position, she served as the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights. Associate Attorney General Gupta is also a very familiar face in the department. From October 2014 to January 2017, she served as Assistant Attorney General, Acting Assistant Attorney General, and Head of the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division. Of course, of all of her positions, past and present, my favorite is that of the Chief FOIA Officer. Associate Attorney General, thank you so much for being here and celebrating Sunshine Week with us today.
Thank you, Bobby, for your warm introduction. And Bobby, I truly appreciate your leadership of the Office of Information Policy and the guidance that you provide every day to the Department of Justice and agencies all across the federal government as we fulfill our obligations under the Freedom of Information Act. It is a pleasure to join you all and to help kick off the department's annual celebration of Sunshine Week. Every year, we celebrate the importance of government transparency during the week of President James Madison's birthday. President Madison emphasized the fundamental importance of access to government information and an engaged citizenry to our democracy. In 1882, he famously wrote, "A popular government without popular information, or the means of acquiring it, is but a prologue to a farce or a tragedy, or perhaps both. Knowledge will forever govern ignorance, and a people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives." The passage of the Freedom of Information Act in 1966 marked a historic milestone in our nation's path towards ensuring that our government is open, transparent, and accountable. The FOIA established a legal right of access to government records and a presumption of disclosure, requiring records to be released to any member of the public unless one of the FOIA's exemptions applies. At its core, the FOIA fosters public trust. Trust that those who are charged with faithfully executing the laws are in fact doing so with integrity and in the public's interest. As the Associate Attorney General, I am privileged to serve as the department's Chief FOIA Officer. I take this obligation seriously. Throughout my own career outside of government, I have relied on the FOIA's disclosure mandates and have seen firsthand the critical role that the FOIA plays in ensuring the public's access to government records. It is through the FOIA that journalists, advocates, and the public remain informed well enough to make real our ideal of a democracy governed by the people and for the people. The government dedicates substantial resources to implementing the FOIA. Every year, agencies receive and process between 700,000 to 800,000 requests, releasing millions of pages of records to the public. Indeed, just last year, the government processed 838,688 requests. The FOIA also requires agencies to proactively disclose certain categories of records. And just last year, the government posted over 32 million proactive disclosures on its websites. We at the department are always looking to improve our FOIA implementation. I want to thank the Attorney General for his leadership and support of the FOIA mission, both here at the department and across government. And we are excited that later this week, the Attorney General will be issuing new guidelines that underscore our commitment to administering the FOIA with a presumption of openness. The Department of Justice has taken a hard look at various aspects of its FOIA implementation. For example, over the past 3 decades, it had been the policy of the Executive Office for Immigration Review to require individuals in immigration court to file a FOIA request in order to obtain a copy of their own records of court proceedings. Such a process created burdens on individuals in immigration courts in obtaining such records. Just last week, EOIR changed its policy so that parties can obtain their records of proceedings directly from the immigration courts or the Board of Immigration Appeals without requiring them to make a request under the FOIA. By helping to mitigate barriers to parties obtaining their records, this change in policy will promote parties' access to justice within the immigration court system. The department will continue to seek ways to ensure that the public can access disclosable information as quickly and efficiently as possible. In addition to our efforts to ensure transparency by the Department of Justice, we take very seriously our responsibility to encourage government-wide compliance with FOIA. The department offers comprehensive training and policy guidance to assist agencies to fulfill their FOIA responsibilities. The department's Office of Information Policy has issued guidance on a broad range of key FOIA topics, including FOIA administration during the pandemic, the impact of key court decisions on FOIA, and areas in which agencies can focus on improvement. Over the past 2 years, in response to the pandemic, OIP has expanded its trainings to include virtual courses that last year alone had over 5,750 registrants. In addition, any agency can request trainings on issues that impact the agency, and OIP will provide tailored trainings to address those agency-specific questions. We are also excited for OIP to release new e-learning training modules that provide FOIA training for the entire government workforce. These interactive FOIA training modules will provide 3 separate training courses designed specifically for senior executives, federal employees, and FOIA professionals. In addition to these trainings, OIP regularly brings FOIA professionals together at its best practices workshops, which allow agencies to share experiences, lessons learned, and strategies for success in specific areas of FOIA administration. This past year, OIP hosted 2 best practices workshops focused on FOIA administration during the pandemic for both the intelligence community and non-intelligence community agencies. The department is proud to support other agencies in their implementation of FOIA by providing a number of other key resources, such as the Department of Justice Guide to the FOIA and summaries of new FOIA decisions. We offer individualized counsel to agencies on the application of the Act as well. In 2021, OIP fielded over 600 calls from agencies for guidance on the FOIA. The department also continues each year to enhance FOIA.gov, which is the federal government's central website on the Freedom of Information Act. For example, over the past year, FOIA.gov's data pages were completely revamped to make it easier for users to search, compare, and download current and historical agencies' annual and quarterly report data. Finally, OIP oversees agency compliance with the FOIA by, among other things, reviewing and summarizing the Chief FOIA Officer reports that are submitted by agencies to the Department of Justice. This year marks the 12th year that the agency chief FOIA officers have reported to the Department of Justice and identifies key steps that they've taken to improve FOIA administration. Specifically, agencies are required to report on how they apply a presumption of openness in the administration of FOIA, how they ensure effective systems are in place to respond to requests, how they increase proactive disclosures, how they utilize technology, and how they improve timeliness and reduce FOIA backlogs. Bobby will share some examples of the work illustrated in this year's report. The impressive efforts agencies detailed in each of the 5 sections of the Chief FOIA Officer reports are admirable and really should serve as an example for us to continue to build upon. The department has long held that FOIA is everyone's responsibility. This work could not be done without the dedicated FOIA professionals who work with requesters day in and day out. These professionals are often tasked with conducting complex searches and detailed reviews of millions of pages. They work scrupulously to balance the FOIA's presumption of disclosure with safeguarding important interests such as personal privacy and national security. I recognize that the past 2 years have been particularly challenging, as FOIA professionals, like the rest of the country, have had to adapt to challenges associated with the pandemic. I take great pride in serving as the Department of Justice's Chief FOIA Officer, and we in leadership appreciate your work on behalf of the American people. Your work lies at the heart of keeping our government open and transparent and ensuring that this democracy of ours always works on behalf of the public. Later in the program, we're going to recognize the outstanding work of some of your colleagues, and we hope that their work will serve as an example to all of us in public service. I want to thank you again for joining us today for our celebration of Sunshine Week and for your dedication to public service. Here at the department, we remain committed to providing federal agencies and members of the public with a range of resources to assist in the efficient and timely administration of the FOIA. Your work is the sunlight required for an open and accountable government. It strengthens our democracy. So thank you all, and have a very bright Sunshine Week.
Thank you so much, Associate Attorney General, for your support and your encouraging words today. We really appreciate you being part of our Sunshine Week celebration. This year has been a challenging year for many of us, but agencies continued their faithful commitment to administer the FOIA. In fiscal year 2021, the government both received and processed over 838,000 requests. Agencies continue to find innovative ways to improve FOIA administration and make information available to the public. As the Associate Attorney General highlighted, at the Department of Justice, we continue to work to encourage government-wide compliance with the FOIA in several ways, including by issuing guidance and working with agencies to meet their FOIA reporting obligations. I am pleased to share that all agencies subject to the FOIA have finalized their fiscal year 2021 annual FOIA reports, and the data is now available on FOIA.gov. Also being posted this week are agencies' Chief FOIA Officer reports, which detail efforts agencies have undertaken since last Sunshine Week in 5 key areas of FOIA administration. For 2022, in addition to some of the questions regularly included in the Chief FOIA Officer report, we have asked agencies to provide more detail about briefing senior leaders on FOIA obligations, FOIA standard operating procedures, how agencies disseminate information outside the FOIA process, whether they collaborate with other offices on proactive disclosures, and finally, whether they have reviewed staffing and technological capabilities to identify resources needed to respond to current and anticipated FOIA demands. The 2022 Chief FOIA Officer reports detail a range of success stories, which I will briefly highlight in a moment, but I encourage everyone to take a look at these reports to learn about all the work agencies have achieved to improve their overall FOIA administration. Agencies themselves can look to these reports to learn about successful strategies and best practices detailed by their colleague agencies. As in prior years, the department looks forward to issuing our own summary of agencies, our own summary and assessment of these reports with accompanying guidance. Before we present the 2022 FOIA awards, I would like to take a moment to briefly highlight some of the very high-level FOIA statistics from the fiscal year 21 annual report, as well as the work of OIP and the many accomplishments achieved by agencies as reported in their Chief FOIA Officer reports. As you can see, during fiscal year 2021, demand for FOIA took a jump after last year's relative decrease in requests received. In this fiscal year, however, we received 883,161 requests. Our agency kept up with this demand and processed more requests than we received. Over the past year, OIP continued to encourage agency compliance with the FOIA in several ways. We work with agencies to become fully interoperable with the National FOIA portal on FOIA.gov in line with FOIA Improvement Act of 2016 and joint DOJ-OMB guidance. We also continue to provide tailored advice to agencies through our FOIA Counsel Service and issued policy guidance on a range of topics. For example, we issued guidance on the Supreme Court's decision in United States Fish and Wildlife Service versus Sierra Club, in which the court addressed FOIA's Exemption 5 for the first time in 2 decades. The court's decision underscored some important principles that agencies should consider in the application of the deliberative process privilege, which we highlight in our guidance. Last fall, OIP also issued updated guidance for how agencies submit their quarterly reports for posting on FOIA.gov. The new process makes it easier for agencies to enter their data directly into FOIA.gov and in turn make those statistics available to the public. As we do each year, OIP again issued guidance to agencies in light of our review and assessment of agency progress based on the 2021 Chief FOIA Officer reports. Our guidance this past year emphasized the importance of training and encouraged agencies to use digital training resources and virtual conferences to reach a wider audience. Encourage agencies to use lessons learned and best practices to identify potential areas to achieve greater efficiency in reducing backlogs and processing times. Advise agencies to review their standard operating procedures at least annually. And finally, reminded agencies that have not updated their FOIA regulations to do so. We also continued posting rolling updates, the Department of Justice's guide to the FOIA. Over the past year, we posted several updated chapters, and we're continuing to finalize the remaining chapters as part of our 2-year comprehensive update rollout. FOIA.gov continues to be a central resource for public and agencies about the FOIA. While established as a dashboard in 2011, it is now a comprehensive website for learning about the FOIA process, both generally and specifically at each agency. Requesters can now submit requests directly to agencies through the site. We look forward to continuing to enhance FOIA.gov with agency and public user feedback. Last summer, we released a revamped quarterly report data page on FOIA.gov. The new page makes it easier for the public to view, compare, and download current and historical quarterly metrics, and continues to provide timely access to important FOIA data throughout the year. We also enhanced the annual FOIA report functionality for agencies and help more agencies become interoperable with the National FOIA portal. We're now planning for the next stage of FOIA.gov development, and last year worked with GSA's AT&F team to identify short and long-term ways to improve the user experience. We are also very excited to be underway with phase 3 of our 10X project with GSA to develop a centralized search feature for finding FOIA releases on FOIA.gov. Please stay tuned for further updates and opportunities to provide feedback on our website. We are incredibly excited to announce that we are nearing completion of a suite of new e-learning training modules for FOIA. We will be releasing 3 modules on a rolling basis in the coming weeks designed for senior executives, federal employees, and FOIA professionals. The courses will be available for all agencies to use. We are excited to give you a sneak peek of what is to come in a short video.
The Freedom of Information Act, commonly known as the FOIA, was designed to facilitate transparency in government. In this online course, you'll learn who can make a FOIA request, the types of records and information that are subject to FOIA, the FOIA's time limits, your responsibilities for assisting agency FOIA professionals in responding to requests, and you will examine and review requested records for disclosure. You will also learn, as a federal employee, the process of proactively disclosing federal records and reports that are not prohibited for public distribution by law. Welcome to the Freedom of Information Act training. There's lots to cover, so let's get started.
We look look forward to releasing these trainings in the coming weeks shortly. Of course, we also continue to build on our work with the Chief FOIA Officers Council, which has had a very active year, especially through the work of its two committees. The Technology Committee and its working groups made resources available on various FOIA tech topics and spearheaded multiple events, including best practices workshops, and most recently a FOIA technology showcase featuring 2 days of vendor presentations and questions and answers, Q&A. We are looking forward to a follow-up event of later this month. And the Committee on Cross-Agency Collaboration and Innovation has gotten off the ground running with the creation of multiple working groups. While the committees meet regularly, we also continue to hold full public meetings. Information about the work of the CFO Council is available on our CFO Council web pages. Finally, OIP continues to provide and update a number of additional FOIA resources listed here, which I encourage agencies to use and leverage. Over the past year, despite continued challenges due to the pandemic, agencies continue to achieve success in many areas of FOIA administration. Their efforts in these 5 key areas are detailed in the Chief FOIA Officer reports, and I would like to highlight some of them briefly. In addition to attending OIP-hosted training, many agencies provided training to their FOIA staff throughout the year. For instance, the Federal Aviation Administration, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Federal Relations Authority, and Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation all detailed different ways they provided essential training to their staff. Of course, FOIA is everyone's responsibility, and it's very important for agency employees who do not have primary responsibility to FOIA to also receive FOIA training. Agencies specifically reported on how they brief senior leadership, as well as all program personnel on their role and obligations in ensuring the agency's effective and efficient administration of the FOIA. The department has long encouraged agencies to conduct outreach to the public in addition to what occurs as part of the FOIA request process. For instance, the Office of Government Ethics reported using social media to explain how the public can access information on its website, including ethics documents for senior government officials. ATF's division chief regularly engages directly with stakeholders who frequently request information from ATF, and FCC works with requesters before they even file a request to help them refine their requests and ensure efficient processing. Agencies also took a range of efforts to ensure that they have effective systems in place for responding to requests. For instance, the National Labor Relations Board's IT and FOIA branch worked together to create a tool that facilitates faster posting of released records from the agency's case management system, resulting in time savings and fewer FOIA requests. The Merit System Protection Board sets quarterly and annual goals, shifting staff resources as needed throughout the year to help ensure program success. GSA reaches out to requesters for clarification anytime there is a search involving e-discovery tools to ensure the most efficient and effective response. The Occupational Safety and Health Review Commission works with requesters proactively in helping them make requests, and many agencies also reported conducting self-assessments to improve their FOIA programs. Proactive disclosures are a key way that agencies keep the public informed without the need of a FOIA request. Agencies' Chief FOIA Officer reports contain a wealth of examples of proactive disclosures. For example, the National Transportation Safety Board developed a case analysis and reporting online query tool, which allows individuals to comprehensively search surf model accident data, aviation accident data, and safety recommendation data. USDA's Foreign Agricultural Service provides insight and analysis from overseas offices on issues affecting agricultural production and trade through the Global Agricultural Information Network site. The Foreign Agricultural Service created over 1,700 entries to the database in fiscal year 2021, including attaché reports and timely reports on foreign markets. The United States Agency for International Development published the results of agency-funded projects, activities, and initiatives on the Department Experience Clearinghouse, the agency's repository for reports, evaluations, and other publications. In 2021, USAID published 15,573 new documents and digital artifacts and uploaded metadata for 2,564 peer-reviewed articles. The Export-Import Bank of the United States offers a diverse set of tools for exporters to streamline the exporting process and expedite sales. The country limitation schedule provides updated information about the markets in which Export-Import Bank does or does not operate. The Security Exchange Commission posts opinions, pleadings, and orders to its website from 1995 through the present. The website is updated by the relevant program offices for each action SEC takes. As the volume and format of agency records continue to expand, advanced technology is critical in helping agencies meet their FOIA obligation. Agencies report on a range of initiatives aimed at advancing IT in their FOIA administration. For example, some agencies, such as the Health Resources and Service Administration and the Bureau of Prisons, have explored the use of artificial intelligence to assist at various stages of the FOIA process. The Social Security Administration worked with IT staff to improve the quality of keyword searches for emails, and the International Trade Administration developed data visualization and other sophisticated reporting tools to help improve its overall FOIA operation. Of course, at the center of all these efforts and achievements are the FOIA professionals who work diligently to administer this important law. It is the FOIA professionals who work with FOIA requesters day in and day out and who review records page by page and line by line, who find ways to improve their agency's FOIA administration, thereby furthering the FOIA's overall purpose. The department has long recognized the fundamental importance of the FOIA professionals who are responsible for the implementation of the law each and every day. In presenting the 2022 Sunshine Week Awards, I am pleased to have the opportunity to acknowledge a small representative of the many exceptional public servants who work in FOIA. This was our most competitive year for awards. This year, we have 5 categories of awards. The first category is for exceptional service by a FOIA professional or a team of FOIA professionals. This award recognizes exemplary performance and exceptional contributions by a FOIA professional or a team of FOIA professionals in carrying out the agency's administration of the FOIA. Today, we have 8 awards in this category. Our first award in this category goes to Ms. Erica Fenstermaker, a government information specialist with the Department of Justice's Federal Bureau of Prisons. Ms. Fenstermaker has handled a significant and complicated caseload of FOIA requests, while at the same time training new staff in the North Central Regional Office at BOP and maintaining an extremely efficient processing system for FOIA requests. Despite the added responsibility, she expertly processed and assisted over others in processing over 600 requests this past year. She has also identified strategies for improving intake procedures, which in turn improve the North Central region's FOIA processing. Ms. Fenstermaker was nominated by Mr. James Willis, acting General Counsel for the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Ms. Fenstermaker, thank you so much for your exceptional service. Our second recipient of the Exceptional Service by a FOIA Professional Award goes to Lieutenant Alyssa Williams, a FOIA branch head in the Department of the Navy. Lieutenant Williams skillfully employed scarce resources to drastically reduce appeal processing times despite significant obstacles posed by COVID-19 workplace restrictions, seasonal staff turnover, and resource constraints. Her leadership was often best evidenced by her abilities to both train new staff and work effectively with senior officials in the unit. In addition, she developed comprehensive virtual Department of the Navy FOIA training and personally delivered the first of these trainings, which was attended by more than 160 FOIA practitioners. Lieutenant Williams was nominated by Sean Schruck, Director, Office of the Judge Advocate General. Lieutenant Williams, thank you so much for your exceptional service. Our next recipient of the award for exceptional service by a FOIA professional exemplifies quality customer service. This award goes to Mr. Garth Collins, FOIA Action Officer for the U.S. Cyber Command. Mr. Collins is currently responsible for processing all FOIA requests for the Cyber Command. His hard work, ethic, impeccable organizational skills, and attention to detail helped establish the Cyber Command's FOIA program since becoming a full and independent unified combatant command. Most notably, however, is the commitment Mr. Collins has shown to providing good customer service. One requester publicly described the Cyber Command as providing quick, polite, and helpful responses, and an absolute pleasure to work with. And Mr. Collins has received feedback from frequent requesters about his enthusiasm and passion for this work. Mr. Collins was nominated by Cybercom's FOIA Privacy Act Program Manager, Carmen Collins. Thank you, Mr. Collins, for your exceptional service. Our next award in this category honors a team of FOIA professionals from the Assistant Secretary for Indian Affairs FOIA Office at the Department of the Interior. Team members include Justin Davis, Heather Garcia, and Connie Rose. With the addition of new FOIA officer and FOIA coordinator, this FOIA team conducted a comprehensive program assessment that led to several new initiatives to enhance efficiency and ensure FOIA compliance. With the use of new technology and formalized standard operating procedures, the FOIA office reduced its backlog by approximately 76%. Proactive engagement with other departmental stakeholders streamlined the office's processing of complex and voluminous backlogged requests. The Indian Affairs FOIA officer also initiated standing quarterly meetings with the Deputy Chief FOIA Officer to enhance the office's strategic approach, and staff participated with other department-wide efforts, reflecting the team's commitment to creating a better overall departmental FOIA program. The team was nominated by Mr. Clint Bowers, Acting Chief of Staff of the Assistant Secretary, Indian Affairs. Thank you all for your exceptional service. Our next award goes to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's FOIA team. Team members include Daniel Adams, Paul Levitan, Ryan McDonald, Holly Walter, Carly Sobey, Quentin Bullock, Charles Lucas, Kathy Ludungay, Amanda Abdi, Craig Greenberg, Jeremy Kirsch, Antiguna Kuki, Chloe Wah, Perneath Samuel, and Mark Hill. CFPB took several steps as part of their backlog reduction plan, including establishing new standard operating procedures and quality control processes, which resulted in significant backlog reduction, more effective use of resources, improved quality of responses to requesters, and an overall greater efficiency to the CFPB FOIA program. The CFPB FOIA team reduced their FOIA backlog by over 86% and closed all of its 10 oldest requests for 2 years in a row. The team also significantly lowered processing times by using various technologies to search and deduplicate records and by maintaining open communication with requesters. The team also improved its proactive disclosures using heat mapping of its FOIA page, enabling CFPB to gauge requester interest in posted material and make more targeted proactive disclosures. Lastly, in 2021, CFPB received a perfect score on the DOJ's assessment of agency chief FOIA officer reports. The team was nominated by Ms. Jean Chang, CFPB's chief FOIA officer. I want to thank this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's FOIA team for their exceptional service. Our next award in this category goes to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence FOIA team, consisting of Gregory Koch, Sally Nicholson, Renee Morris, Jeremy Frame, Jennifer Buckrice. This award reflects another agency's achievement with regards to backlog reduction. ODNI's FOIA team was challenged to reduce their backlog by 15% and nearly doubled that goal by reducing the backlog by 29%. This is the largest backlog reduction in ODNI's 16-year history and particularly notable among intelligence community agencies. In addition to this achievement, during fiscal year 2021, the team closed more requests than any prior fiscal year and closed all of its 10 oldest consultations. The team's ability to not only meet, but nearly double its backlog reduction goal amid the significant stresses of the pandemic and other pressures reflects their willingness to go above and beyond expectations. Gregory Koch, Chief Information Management Office and Chief Information Officer of ODNI, nominated the ODNI FOIA team for this award. And I want to thank the ODNI team for their exceptional service. Our next award for exceptional service by a team of FOIA professionals goes to the Veteran Health Administration's FOIA team. As part of the continuing initiative, the VHA FOIA team was able to reduce its backlog by over 90% across 2 fiscal years. The team accomplished this while also serving an unprecedented patient population during the COVID-19 pandemic. This milestone could not have been attained without the team's steadfast dedication to improving VHA's FOIA program and tireless resolve to reduce the FOIA backlog. Most of the FOIA officers within VHA have additional duties, such as serving privacy and records management officials, which also saw an increase in demands with new COVID-19 protocols. Through their tireless effort and balancing of work priorities, proactive case management, and strategic planning to address complex requests, the VHA team was able to achieve a remarkable milestone. This achievement not only had a positive impact on veterans, but also on the broader requester base, reflected by the many notes of thanks and praise for the team's diligent work. The VHA FOIA team was nominated by VHA FOIA Director Michael Sarich. I want to thank the VHA FOIA team for their exceptional service. Our last award in this category goes to the Food and Nutrition Service FOIA team at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Team members include Emily Boudet, Danica Welks, Kevin Lynch, Wilson Moore, Jakira Proctor, Fatmatu Jalal, and Inu Richter. The team's recent achievements are due large in part to their use of technology that facilitated more effective collaboration amongst the team and in turn more efficient processing. During fiscal year 2021, the team reduced its request backlog by over 13% and closed its 100 oldest cases. They also completely eliminated their backlog of appeals. The impact of the appeal closures was financially significant because they allowed the Food and Nutrition Service team the Food and Nutrition Service to continue to administer enforcement actions against retail stores that were fraudulently benefiting from Supplement Nutrition Assistance Program. Overall, the FOIA team surpassed established goals and metrics and in turn saved USDA and taxpayers millions of dollars. The FOIA team was nominated by Alexis Graves, Director of the Office of Information Affairs at USDA. I want to thank the Food and Nutrition Service FOIA team for their exceptional service. Our next category of awards is for outstanding contributions by a new employee. This award recognizes exceptional performance and notable contributions in carrying out the agency's FOIA responsibilities by a new employee with fewer than 3 years of work in FOIA. We have 3 awards in this category. Our first award in this category goes to Ms. Diana Risco, who is the Environmental Protection Agency's Region 8 FOIA Coordinator. Ms. Risco quickly established herself as a leader for EPA's Region 8 FOIA program and across the EPA FOIA community. Within a year of being hired, she championed the use of several emerging technologies, which contributed to a reduction in average response times for cases, and she processed both simple and complex. Average response time for cases she processed from an average of 25 days to 19 days. Since starting with EPA, she has maintained a 0 backlog. Ms. Risco routinely and effectively communicates with requesters and with other staff across the agency. She is also willing to share knowledge with others, ask questions when necessary, and lead by example. Ms. Risco was nominated by EPA's General Counsel, Jeffrey Preto. Ms. Risco, I want to thank you for your exceptional service to FOIA. Our next award in this category goes to Ms. Emily Kroloff from EPA's Office of Air and Radiation. Despite being brand new to FOIA, as a FOIA data analyst and system developer, Ms. Kroloff led the office's effort to build a data management tool to more effectively track FOIA workload. Her work eased the transition to an all-virtual FOIA workplace over the past 2 years and helped achieve an over 45% reduction in FOIA response times. The new system also helped EPA's Office of the Air and Radiation Management to understand common trends, inform whether processes should be reevaluated, identify training needs, and justify staffing changes. Further, the ability to replicate the system in its entirety or in part for the use of others in the agency is a cornerstone of Ms. Kroloff's work and her forethought. She has already trained and created tutorials for other staff across the agency. Ms. Kroloff was nominated by EPA's General Counsel, Jeffrey Preto. Ms. Kroloff, thank you for your exceptional service. Our next and final award in this category goes to two attorney advisors at the National Labor Relations Board, Mr. Joseph Mullaney and Ms. Stephanie Hansen. Within 3 months of their start date, Mr. Mullaney and Ms. Hansen mastered NLRB's FOIA processing procedures and were able to handle complex and sensitive requests independently. In short order, they came to understand labor law, the mechanics of NLRB's investigations and litigation, agency records for creation and maintenance, as well as how the FOIA intersects with the National Labor Relations Act and agency policies. When the FOIA caseload increased, they took on requests beyond their ordinary caseload while also handling special assignments. When the NLRB incorporated a FOIA component to the agency's orientation for all new employees, management selected Mr. Mullaney and Ms. Hansen to provide this training due to their demonstrated mastery of the FOIA and agency processes. Cinta Keeling, NLRB's FOIA branch chief, nominated Mr. Mullaney and Ms. Hansen for this award, and I would like to thank you both for your exceptional service. Our next award category is for exceptional advancements in the area of IT to improve FOIA administration. This award recognizes exceptional achievements in greater utilizing technology to make information more accessible. We have 3 awards in this category. Our first award goes to Mr. Jimmy Wolfrey from the Department of Homeland Security's Privacy Office. Mr. Wolfrey was the keystone member in 3 major projects to significantly upgrade and modernize the IT infrastructure supporting most DHS FOIA operations. First, Mr. Wolfrey led the effort to transfer DHS FOIA processing data from DHS servers to the cloud, which provides cost reduction, scalability, connectivity, and enhanced security. Second, Mr. Wolfrey played a vital role in procuring and implementing a modernized FOIA processing solution for the department. The modernized DHS FOIA solution is a cloud-based e-discovery platform designed to help handle large amounts of data. In addition to essential case management capabilities, advanced analytics, and machine learning technology, the product has customizable workflows and layouts. Finally, Mr. Wolfrey is spearheading work with the data services team within DHS's Office of the Chief Information Officer to streamline and automate the DHS monthly FOIA report. This tool will include a dashboard that makes the report more accessible and that will enhance the Privacy Office's ability to perform trend analysis and oversight. Ms. Lynn Parker Dupree, DHS's Chief Privacy Officer and Chief FOIA Officer, nominated Mr. Wolfrey for this award. Mr. Wolfrey, thank you for your exceptional service to FOIA. Our next award in this category goes to the National Labor Relations Board's OCIO and FOIA branch in recognition of their efforts on 2 initiatives. First, the FOIA branch's search and review technology was previously only capable of conducting searches for 1 NLRB case at a time, which proved challenging for larger FOIA requests. As a result of collaboration with the agency's OCIO, a new technology retrieval tool was developed that can search and export up to 2,000 records from multiple NLRB cases in a single electronic search. As a result of this collaborative team's work, the FOIA branch was able to cut its average FOIA request processing time by more than 46%, down to 9.91 days. Second, previously the FOIA branch was not able to easily post frequently requested records to the agency's websites from its FOIA case management site. Understanding the importance of this function to the FOIA branch and the requester community, the OCIO team developed a tool that hyperlinks records posted from the FOIA system to the case pages on NLRB's website. Cinta Keeling, NLRB's FOIA branch chief, nominated the OCIO and FOIA branch for this award, and I want to thank everyone on these teams for their exceptional service to FOIA. And our final award in this category goes to 2 FOIA officials who have helped advance government-wide technology efforts in their roles as co-chairs of the Chief FOIA Officer Council's Technology Committee. I am very pleased to present this award to Mr. Eric Stein from the Department of State and Mr. Michael Sarich from the Veteran Health Administration. Over the past 2 years, Michael and Eric have led the Technology Committee composed of dedicated FOIA professionals from across the government. The committee and its working group groups facilitated timely discussion and created informative resources on various topics related to FOIA technology. In addition to publishing multiple reports and best practices, the committee has held an Artificial Intelligence 101 event, participated in multiple best practices workshops, and just last month hosted a 2-day FOIA technology showcase featuring presentations from a range of vendors. The committee's good work continues today, with new working groups being established and new initiatives being pursued. Michael and Eric, it has been a true pleasure working with you on the Technology Committee. We are very fortunate to have dedicated members of the FOIA community such as yourselves. I want to thank you both for your service to FOIA. Our next award category is for exceptional advancements in proactive disclosures. This award recognizes exceptional achievements by an agency or a team of professionals at an agency to proactively make information available online. And this year we have one award in this category. The award for exceptional advancements in proactive disclosures goes to the Health Resources and Service Administration, or HRSA. HRSA undertook 2 initiatives to proactively release large quantities of information related to government spending. The first is a data page for the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program. The program allows individuals who experience a serious injury or death of a loved one due to a vaccination, medication, device, or other item recommended to diagnose, prevent, or treat a declared pandemic, epidemic, or security threat to file a claim for benefits. The second initiative is posting of Provider Relief Fund data by HRSA's Provider Relief Bureau. The Provider Relief Bureau is responsible for managing and issuing Provider Relief Fund payments and other payments under the CARES Act to eligible healthcare providers. Both of these pages increase public knowledge and allow direct access to 2 high-profile subject matters without the filing of a request. Since release, the pages devoted to the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program and Provider Relief Fund have received nearly 200,000 hits. Mr. Brandon Gaylord, Director of the Freedom of Information Act Division, HHS Public Affairs Office, nominated the HRSA Office of Communication and HRSA FOIA team for this award, and I want to thank these teams for their exceptional service to FOIA. Next, and finally, my favorite category of awards is for lifetime service in FOIA administration. The Lifetime Service Award recognizes those professionals with at least 20 years of work in FOIA who have demonstrated high standards of excellence and dedication in the administration of the FOIA throughout their career. We are presenting 3 Lifetime Service Awards this year, all from EPA. Our first award goes to Ms. Linda Person from EPA. Ms. Person began working at EPA during high school. After she graduated, EPA's first FOIA officer hired her as a full-time FOIA specialist. From then on, Ms. Person chose FOIA as her career and mission. She became one of EPA's first government information specialists when the new series was created, and she embodies what was envisioned by the GIS series. During her 35 years of federal service, Ms. Person witnessed the evolution of FOIA law and technology, and she contributed to improvements in best practices and policies to implement and take advantage of the changes. Her first redaction tool consisted of a black magic marker, whiteout tape, a photocopier machine, and a pen, which was used to handwrite the exemptions in the margins. In the late 1990s, EPA had a FOIA case backlog of more than 10,000 FOIA requests, and Ms. Person was part of the team that tackled this backlog in the 2000s. Currently, Ms. Person serves on EPA's central intake team, making FOIA case assignments, and she is responsible for the My Property FOIA requests responses, which account for approximately 25% of EPA's FOIA requests. Ms. Jeffrey Preto, EPA's General Counsel, nominated Ms. Person for this award. And Ms. Person, thank you for your exceptional lifetime service to FOIA administration. Our next Lifetime Service Award goes to Ms. Sabrina Hamilton, also from EPA. Ms. Hamilton has dedicated over 34 years at EPA's Office of Air and Radiation to FOIA implementation. FOIA was a small part of her career early on, but quickly grew. She worked in the Office of Transportation and Air Quality for 20 years, rising to become that office's FOIA coordinator in 1995. Her FOIA subject matter expertise was well known and positioned her to become the office's FOIA coordinator in 2006. Ms. Hamilton manages the Office of Air and Radiation's intake process, consulting FOIA leads to ensure proper assignment of requests, and she tracks the status of each of those requests and assists throughout the various stages of the FOIA process. She also leads the office's large document production team. She manages an average of 195 requests annually, of which many involve the collection and review of thousands of records. Under her leadership, the office has reduced its overall FOIA response time by 71% since 2013. And since 2013, Sabrina has led the efforts to close over 95% of the requests received by the Office of Air and Radiation. While the numbers alone speak volumes, perhaps even more impressive than these accomplishments is the extraordinary example that Ms. Hamilton models as a customer service provider for her colleagues and the public. Mr. Jeffrey Prito nominated Mrs. Hamilton for this award. And Ms. Hamilton, I want to thank you for your exceptional lifetime service to FOIA administration. Our final award in this category goes to Ms. Stephanie Kircheval. Ms. Kircheval has served as EPA's Region 10 FOIA officer since November of 1995, and prior to that, she served as EPA Region 10 FOIA program as a FOIA coordinator. Ms. Kircheval embodies the qualities of a successful FOIA officer, both with her knowledge of FOIA and the agency's procedures, as well as her ability to interact effectively and professionally with the full spectrum of agency's personnel. She has trained and mentored new FOIA case managers, detailees, and FOIA specialists, helping them become effective and engaged members of the region's FOIA team. She also led the efforts to develop the region's standard operating procedures. Ms. Kircheval also spearheaded Region 10's key technology initiatives for improving oversight and responding to requests. Mr. Jeffrey Prito, EPA's General Counsel, nominated Ms. Kircheval for this award. And Ms. Kircheval, I want to thank you for your exceptional lifetime service to FOIA administration. I want to thank all of our award recipients for their many contributions to FOIA administration. Through their efforts and the efforts of thousands of FOIA professionals across the government, each day we are furthering the FOIA's purpose in achieving transparency. We are grateful that Sunshine Week offers us the chance to reflect on these accomplishments as we continue to explore how we may further realize the FOIA's goals in the coming year. As we briefly highlighted today, agencies are taking many steps to refine their FOIA processes, improve the use of technology for greater efficiency, and make more information available in new ways. Dedicated FOIA professionals and leaders across government are behind all of these efforts. Each day they bring enthusiasm and steadfast commitment as they work to improve the administration of the FOIA, a cornerstone of our democracy. This concludes our event for today. I want to thank everyone for joining us and wishing everyone a very happy Sunshine Week.